I am on the first day of my period, so it's a fucking miracle that I'm here. You're very welcome. Thank you very much. Of course, I would get my period on the day I do the Wrong Turns Comedy Disaster podcast. That is perfect. I'm so happy to see you all here. This is a brand new podcast for me, so thanks for showing up and supporting. This is the podcast where dignity goes to die. Are you ready for your dignity to die? Fantastic. For those of you who don't know, this is anti-inspiration and pro-commiseration. I'm sick of having silver linings shoved up my bumhole about every sad story. This is where we indulge in the humiliation. So please join me in giving a huge warm welcome to my fabulous guests, Russell Howard, Judi Love, and Grace Campbell. Oh my goodness, guys, how are you?
I'm also on my period.
Oh yeah. Do you need my hot water bottle?
Yeah. I didn't know. I was wondering what that was for. Lovely.
Yeah. So we are here to celebrate comedy disasters in general. Does disaster seek you out?
What a great question. Does disaster seek... Well, how about you guys? What do you think?
Oh, yes.
You think disaster seeks Russell out?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I've just met Russell, but I have always attracted drama.
I think that's what bonds us.
From all holes and
trauma
orifices.
bonds. Yeah.
I feel like that's what just us being comedians as well. I think we just
it's that weird thing, isn't it? When something terrible happens, there is always part of you going, there's probably a bit in this. I remember getting mugged in Brighton, and as it was happening, I was going, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's another trait as a comedian, almost being mugged. That happened to me in Brixton, but then I faced him off and said, mate, I don't think you want to do this. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you know who I am. Do you know what I mean? I'm not talking about being Judi Love. I'm talking about I was born in Hackney, okay? But I go left. And then I took his number, because he was quite cute, if I'm honest with you.
I pretended...
Why has that never been on Crime Watch? That would be the best episode, just staring him down, and then we're happily married.
Yeah.
I did the exact opposite of Judi, and I decided to play the mental illness card, or the possessed by a small Victorian white ghost.
Right.
And I sang with my eyes completely open, unblinking, I feel pretty, I'm so pretty. And then I started walking towards them, and they started to back up. And they left me alone in Mornington Crescent. So, highly recommend if you have no upper body strength.
I once got mugged while I was doing my Be Real. Do you remember Be Real? Yeah. And I was outside the Emirates doing my Be Real, and this 12-year-old boy just came and took my phone. And I was like, do you know what? That is so fair.
Yeah.
That is so fair.
Depending on where you was, he was being real.
I was being really...
How do you feel about starting us off with some sort of just a soft lubing for some micro humiliations you will have gone through? Should we start with you, Russell?
I can micro lube.
Yeah.
So a very quick, short story. My brother's appendix burst in Dubai. We were on holiday and we had no insurance, and I was, just starting to do okay, so I had to pay for it. And you'd think he would show me respect for that, but he didn't, because I think 4 days later he's in a wheelchair and I'm kind of wheeling him around the buffet. And then we get into the elevator, and my brother thought it would be hilarious to pretend to be heavily disabled.
Right.
So feel that tension. Imagine how I felt in the elevator. My brother was dribbling, screaming, shaking. I'd never been angrier with the little prick in my life, but I had to go along with it, because then I'd look madder if you start going, stop it. So I started stroking him and saying, we're having a tough day. And he's pressed every button on the elevator, and he's going for it, and we get out on the 14th floor. I'll never forget it, 'cause he tried to get away from me like that. And I ran up to him and I punched him in the face. But there were people outside the elevator, and they didn't know what had happened inside the elevator. All they saw was a man they recognised off British TV run up to a man in a wheelchair, punch him in the face, and scream out loud, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" So that made the rest of the holiday pretty weird.
Yeah. That is actually a bit of me, because whenever I've had to have they sedate you for dental work if you're a massive pussy, and my boyfriend and best friend, two big men, come to collect me afterwards, because you're not allowed to go home alone, and even while absolutely fucked, I look around to a full waiting room and I go, I don't know these men. And everyone, you know, and I'm like practically doing that like trafficking sign. And I have no recollection of doing this, but and they both were like, he was like, no, she's my girlfriend, and my friend Josh was like, no, she's my best friend. And I was like, I don't know them, please help me. And then they drag me out of there, and no one comes to my rescue, which I think is pretty fucked up and a sign of the times that we live in. But I really, like, I am your brother in this situation. Wow. Yeah, I could have gotten them arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but so that you just went home with them.
Yeah, went home
after
with
all
them.
of that.
After all of that, and I had
She's
no
lying.
idea. I thought it was hilarious, and then no one was speaking to me when I came back around, which is really, really
so
fair.
Weird though. Have you guys ever been under sedation? It's the
I love it.
It's the oddest thing.
Same.
I think about it a lot.
Yeah,
But you're
same.
just not. You're aware of the words coming out. I remember I had something with my thumb, and I was telling this guy, I was being really sweet to him. I was going like, mate, like I really want you to play in my football team, but I don't think the other lads would like it. Like that, and this poor bloke's like, I couldn't give a shit. Like, I don't want to play in your football team, but you're so earnest, or in your case...
Such a cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do because you feel the words coming out. You're like, what am I doing?
It's when you're first going in, because I remember I went to go and have a procedure, like a gynecologist kind of seizure.
Yeah,
Not seizure, Lord God, that would have been the wrong thing, but a procedure. And, you know, obviously you're conscious because your face is known, and now they're going to see the other face, right? And
your other lips.
I'd prepped it and everything, right?
Hi.
Hi! Had a smile and everything, took out the cane rolls, you know what I mean? But literally, they had not said anything. They didn't say they knew who I was. I had like a little alias name. And then literally, as they were going, right, we're going to count down and you're going to, fall asleep. They were like 10, 9. And then they were like, oh my gosh, you were so amazing on Strictly. Literally, as my legs was up into... I just fall asleep thinking, someone see my pussy. It's awkward, isn't it? Those kind of moments are awkward.
Yeah.
But yet hilarious, just falling asleep and the last words are pussy. They must have the best stories. Like, the people that do sedation must have the best.
Yeah, also they can never...
Yeah.
Did I burp?
Of course you farted.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
We all fart.
Oh, no, but you at least
I'm
when you do
farting
it...
right now.
Just the water bottle just went...
Yeah. Judy, what about you? Any micro humiliations? Do you want to start a confessional?
Yeah, you know, look, my kids, when they were both at the same school, like my daughter they'd always call me to come and collect my daughter, and it was always the wrong child. It was the other little black girl. Yeah, I know. And, you know, this happens to me quite a lot. You know, a lot of people get me mixed up with any other black woman in TV, even black women that's not on TV, right? And so I was really firm with them about this because this has got to stop. It's really dangerous. It could be the wrong parent they've called. Anyway, so one day I went down there. As a mum, you're picking up your kids, you're on the phone, you're rushing. I've gone to the teacher, I've collected my son, I've got in the car, it's the wrong fucking black kid.
You aggression, racism.
I picked up the other little black boy in the class, and I swear, Dad, for part of me, I was like, no, I've got to stand by this shit.
I will raise him for the next 8 years.
For the 8 years, he was looking at me like, you ain't my mum, right? And I was like, we're going to play this thing together, brethren, okay? I was looking to go home with this for you, right? I got him in the car, was on the phone, I'm carrying the bag, get in the car, I'm thinking about dinner that's got to be made, what can I make? And I slammed the door. It's not until I sat down and looked like in the mirror to kind of tell him to put your seatbelt on. I was like, that ain't my kid. That ain't my kid. And I sat there for like a minute or so contemplating, what should I do? What was weird is no one else didn't realise either.
Yeah, but presumably as well.
The child...
Didn't he? Yeah, but why didn't he go, that's not my mum either?
Well, he just was kind of like, you know, because all the kids know each other and the mums, maybe he just assumed I was picking him up. But he was only like, we're talking about 6 or something like that. How the hell did I get out of school with him? And then I thought to myself, how am I going to walk back? So I can't lie. Yeah, the ignorance in me. I walked back and I said, this is what I'm talking about. How dare you give me the wrong child? handed him back, and I saw my son sitting there just like, oh, mum. That's my mum, you know, that's my mum. And I took him with him. I was like, oh, God, I felt so bad.
Always double down.
Double down.
Double down. When in doubt, always double down. Grace?
The stories that I'm going to tell right now are about me being an awful child. So I was a really, really badly behaved teenager, which I'm sure comes as a massive shock to everyone here. And I grew up in Camden, and it was like a real thing for like the middle class girls in Camden to go and steal from American Apparel. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with that tradition.
Fuck American Apparel. So,
yeah.
But yeah,
it was also like super easy because they didn't have tags. Anyway, so I got arrested in the American Apparel in Camden one day stealing, you know, the two-tone dresses they used to do. I don't know. I can't see how old anyone is. So like maybe you get what I'm talking about, maybe you don't. But do you remember those dresses? It was like white and black. Yeah. So I was stealing one of those. I got arrested. I got taken to Kentish Town Police Station. When I was there, my mum came. I was like 15 years old. And then the police officer was giving me a full search in front of my mum. And then they found a lot of weed and a fake ID. So then had to arrest me twice in front of my mum. And my mum was just stood there like, what the fuck have I done to deserve this child? I think I've been quite nice to you.
Was your mum like, can you give me back my weed as well, please? We know how you middle class women are.
I would love it if it isn't your mum in this story as well. Just this poor woman's going, it's not my kid, it's not my fucking kid.
That is my weed, it is not my child. Anyway, and then a month later, I fell off a roof of a 5-story building, right?
I've never heard this.
She's never heard this story. This is one of my many near-death experiences. Judi and I first met doing a TV show together, and she said afterwards that she prayed for me because the story...
In tongues, as she left. Like,
because I told such stressful stories. Anyway, so I fell off the roof of a 5-story building because I was so high. And basically this boy who I went to school with, I was climbing off the roof and I said, are my feet going to land on the balcony wall? And he said, yeah, let go, your feet are going to land. Manslaughter. I let go and I fell off the building, luckily onto a roof terrace 2 floors down, right? So I completely fucked my face up. I knocked out one of my front teeth. I broke I didn't really break my nose because it's still looking absolutely perfect. Anyway, go to the Royal Free Hospital. This is a very northwest London sort of story. Go to the Royal Free Hospital. Didn't realise it was Mother's Day. It's like 7 in the morning. It's Mother's Day. I was 15. They said, you have to call your mum. She has to come and get you from the hospital. You're fucked. Me and my friends, Anna, me and my best friend Anna were like hysterically laughing. We were so stoned. And my mum came in and looked at her toothless child with blood all over her face, and I thought it was so funny. I was like sort of playing with all of the props in the hospital, and she said, I've never been more ashamed of you being my daughter since the time you got arrested from stealing an American Apparel.
And look at her now.
My poor mum.
Yeah.
Bless her.
I only got only half arrested when I was 12 because and please don't tell anyone.
I think when you're 12, it's chic. It's
I think
fine.
it is quite chic.
You've got nothing on your
Also,
record.
when I was 12, I was like 6 foot and had a full beard. So like, they did not think I was 12.
Did they think you were Jihadi John? Is that what happened?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Jameela bin Laden. It was Prince Charles had once said that he wanted to be Camilla's tampon. I don't know if anyone remembers this.
What the hell have I
hate to break this to you.
Listen, he's a wordsmith.
Yeah.
That's what I would say about that. I'd love a man to say that to me.
A modern day Bruno Mars. Yeah, a modern day Bruno Mars. So, because he'd said that, I had an overly intense parasocial relationship with Princess Diana. And so when she had died and then he remarried, whenever they did the drive-through of London together, him and Camilla, I lamped a bunch of boxes of tampons at their car.
No way.
I love that.
So that's mine. So I'm right with you there, and now I understand even more why we're best friends. All right, so Russell, it's time for your macro humiliation. What was your big wrong turn in life?
Well, it isn't like
Other than punching your disabled brother.
No. But it isn't like, like a big wrong turn, as in, it's all fine. But like one of my sort of favourite awkward moments, there was this brilliant lady that worked on our show called Sally. She worked on Good News and she worked on the Sky show that we did. She was amazing. She was like an editor, and she brilliant at finding little stories about this country that were funny. There was one from Worcester that springs to mind. The headline was "Escaped Tiger turns out to be man on stag do." So she was kind of, do you know what I mean? She could find those little sort of ace little stories. She's really funny, and she had been on a march. I think it was like a walk, a breast cancer walk, with ladies were walking in their bras at night. I think it was around about 2014 she was doing it, raised loads of money for breast cancer as well. It's really, really fantastic. She came into the TV show on the Tuesday, adamant that she'd seen me in a hedge looking at all the ladies who were going for a walk
wanking
in their
in a
bras.
bush?
Yeah. Like, and she was like, I know it was you. No, she didn't say I was wanking, but she said she saw me, and apparently I went, oh yeah. And I was like, you know what I was going? If I wanted to see boobs, I'd go on the internet, or I would, ask my girlfriend, can I see your boobs? I wouldn't sit in a hedge like a badger,
looking at cancer survivors.
Yeah, exactly. And then sort of announce myself by going, oh yeah. And apparently I said, like, that's what Daddy likes. She had all this shit. Yeah, exactly. As if I'm going to fucking do this. And I was famous. Like, people would go, why is Russell Howard in that fucking hedge going, oh, yeah, that's what Daddy likes. And yet...
Let's be honest, I don't think the famous thing matter because there's been a lot of men in the industry.
Yeah.
There's someone hiding in that bush right now.
God, that's so offensive, isn't it? That she'd even think you would after all that time of knowing you.
But and we got on great. And I see to this day.
And you so don't have wanking in a bush vibes.
No.
Judi and Grace, on the other hand, no.
But it. Well, I just imagine Grace probably land on me. Imagine that. And our relationship's great, and her kids have come to watch me at gigs, and I get on really well with it, and we're still pals. But she still goes, "I know it was you," and I'm like, "Why would it be me?" Anyways, this has been going on.
I'm so desperate for a Mission Impossible reveal one day.
Well, this is it. So I hadn't seen her for ages because I haven't done the TV show for a little while, and I saw her and our agents, and she was at the end of the corridor, and I hadn't seen her for ages, and I recognised her, so I walked behind her really, really slowly, and I just went, "Oh yeah." And it wasn't Sally. It was just this woman. She span just as I went, that's what Daddy likes. And then that was the most embarrassing moment of my life where you go, so another lady who looks a lot like you thought that I hid in a bush looking at ladies with bras, which I don't do, and I've never done. But hello, and do you know what I mean? It was just like this kind of like, and I was just like, and she said, I was like going, oh, that's what Daddy likes. I'm not saying that's what Daddy likes.
Oh my God, right? So two people think you're a nonce.
Fucking brutal.
Yeah.
And it was just, when you're walking away from it going, it's like that Larry David moment of like, I took a chance.
Yeah.
I just thought it'd be the funniest thing to go, oh yeah, and just the spin. It's just like time stops. And you lock eyes and you're like,
it's not her. All we need to know... What's your friend's name?
Sally.
Sally. All we need to know is Sally was black. And that's how we got them mixed up.
Yeah.
Sally is not black. What an amazing situation to be able to say out loud, Sally is not black. And the whole room go, phew. And that makes it less tense when I go, Sally is not black. And I was like, oh, thank goodness, imagine. But if I'd have said that before you'd said that, oh, and by the way, Sally's a black woman. But Sally is not a black lady. Imagine that. That's the only way I could have made it worse. Yeah. Thank goodness you weren't black, Sally. But you're not, I'm not. Bye. I love your brain, mate. I love it.
We love
But
yours, man.
it was, oh man.
That is fucking harrowing,
But you know-
especially because you're famous, so it just makes
It's
it
just-
so much
But does
worse.
it freak you out that there's a doppelganger who looks like you, who's
Yeah.
like hiding in bushes,
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
wanking at women? Sally only told you because she knew you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't know who else he's done this to.
But the thing is,
We've actually got some survivors here tonight who have come to
Come to
confront
think of it, do you ever
right?
go to Hampstead Heath? Does he ever go to Hampstead Heath?
More to the point, where was you that day?
I don't know. But I'll tell you why I wasn't. I wasn't in a hedge like Chris Packham, just sort of sat there. Like, it was... The thing is, I look like so many people, so it could have been Ellen DeGeneres, she could have been...
Now that I actually would believe.
Yeah. It could have been Lance Bass from NSYNC. Like, do you know what I mean? I look like a lot of people. It could have been the Finnish Prime Minister. But yes, but it wasn't me. Yes.
Anytime I fuck up in public, I put on an Indian accent and tell everyone I'm Priyanka Chopra.
I tried that for a while.
I've got to get back to Nick. So, Judi, tell us your big wrong turn.
Okay, so I did a really, in about 2019, I did this massive gig in Wembley Arena, and it was massive. And
All right, Judi.
so it was massive.
Say massive one more time, Judy.
Massive.
I was on
Massive.
both.
It was massive.
It was massive. I sound like a DM, don't I? It's massive, love. Do you know what I mean? It's massive. Fucking liar. The tampon was bigger. So I did this gig, and then I did a few other gigs, and then I had this present delivered to my house, and basically, to me, I had a stalker, right? And it was yeah.
Sorry. No, he's bitten off a lot there.
Yeah.
Or she.
Yeah. Like, do you know who I am? Right? And so, I had this package delivered, and it was in this lavender, netted case. It smelled of something quite lavendery, and it was like a glass gold frame, and then it had like a film cut out in it, and it said, "You're perfect to me," and I was like, shit. This is crazy. Like, someone knows my address. They've sent me stuff. There was no, there was little scribble, but I didn't know who the hell it was. So I got gloves. I put it down. I didn't even have a ring at the time. You know the ring where you could listen and try and read and watch people?
Yeah.
I knocked my neighbours. I said, listen, I'm a little bit on TV. And
I've just done a massive show at Wembley.
Massive gig. And I think it's someone in the audience. I've got a stalker. I phoned my agent at the time. I took pictures. I called the police. And I said, listen, it's Judi Love. In case you don't know who I am, I just did a massive gig. And then, I called the council, because it was a social housing house at the time. Yeah, money hadn't come in yet. And called the council. I explained to them, I'm Judi Love. I did a massive gig. And so the council, they brought out someone to change the locks. They changed all locks. I got the police involved. They checked CCTV. And then because I was Judi Love, they got a superintendent inspector, a higher one, to come to my house. They did fingerprints. They did everything. I was so scared because I was just like, who does that? And then basically, my agents were searching and looking, and the police, and we found out it was Richard Curtis, the guy who made Notting Hill. He wasn't a stalker. Let me make this very clear. He wasn't a stalker. This is something he does. It was such a beautiful present. He sends it to everyone as a thank you present.
And to me, you are
did
perfect.
you get one as well?
I got exactly the same
Oh,
present.
My
God.
mum and dad have one on their wall.
And you know the film
So
where
I've known him for 18 years. I don't have one.
It's because I did the massive gig, babe. And the thing is, I don't think you understand. It was now when I look at it, the film that was inside is the actual film from Notting Hill, the bit when he's standing outside. I thought he was the person was
Is it
obsessed.
Love Actually?
Love Actually.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought they were obsessed with me, so I thought, oh my gosh, they've made a film and they've sent it to me. I don't think you understand. It went so big, the investigation, and I saw him, and he was like, Jude, someone contacted me about a person, and I was like, I didn't realise until I started to call people, and they were like, yeah, you're not special, love. We all got one. Do you know what I mean? Like, hearing that you had got one as well. And then when I found out it was him, I did the most obvious thing, which was the best thing to do when you get something from Richard Curtis. I went to the pawn and said, babes, how much is this, love? How much is this worth? Do you know what I mean? It's from Richard Curtis. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you still got yours?
I would have hoped that you would have had him arrested and doubled down.
Double down. I
Double down.
No, you are my stalker, actually.
You are my... I don't want a stalker, but, you know, that moment of like, my gosh.
Yeah.
Like,
Here's a question. When you discovered you didn't have a stalker, was there part of you that missed them a bit?
The moment of like being taken seriously and my safety and everything, and you know, this beautiful thing that was made, and it was just, oh my god.
Did you tell your neighbours and everyone, or did you just always hold it?
Not.
No,
of course not.
Good.
They're gonna hear it now. Of course not. I didn't tell them.
No.
But it was really embarrassing, especially that he sent it to everybody and everyone gets it. Even Russell said, I think we was on the same show.
We were, yeah.
Yeah, shame. You could have told me that before, didn't you?
Well, you know,
But
it was a massive gig. I couldn't see it.
Yeah,
There's so many people there. Do you remember? Good Lord.
10,000.
Good God.
But to think that I had made all these people come out, the locksmith, the council, the safeguarding, you know, because I had children in the house, the police, it'd been put up to the highest detective. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah.
And it was a present.
I feel you. I actually kind of had like the sort of reverse where someone was sending flowers to me back when I was on BBC Radio 1. I was doing the official chart every Sunday, and someone was sending me flowers, and I would interview whoever was like number one, and I'd give them their little number one award and everything. And this guy was sending the most beautiful flowers I'd ever seen, and his name was Tim. So I was like, oh, love Tim. And after the second one, I was like, who's Tim? Who do I know is Tim? And my brain, because clearly I'm insane, just went, oh, it must be Avicii. I interviewed him. His real name was Tim. Like, R.I.P. Sorry, but like, you know, it was like obviously before. I'm not that crazy. And so I was like, oh my God, Avicii, he's got a little crush. Like, you know, I interviewed him a month ago, and he's clearly like, you know, obsessed with me and sending me flowers. So I don't, you know, I like respond to him, and he like leaves it on red, and I'm like, oh, it's so weird. Like, how'd you get Avicii? And then I'm like thanking him on, you know, like on the radio. I'm like, and thanks, Tim, you know, for the lovely flowers, having no idea that I have an actual stalker. It's not Avicii. My stalker now thinks I like the attention because I keep thanking him. He's one of those, like, thinks every number I say is a coordinate of where to find me and meet me. So I escalated an actual stalker thing, thinking a celebrity was obsessed with me. Yeah.
Wow.
How dare I think that a DJ who's 10 years younger than me was sending me roses every week.
And have you still got that stalker?
I hope not. I was not here tonight, but no, it was years and years and years ago. I think he got bored, or like he saw all of my feminism. But you know, did you hear about that boy who got kidnapped, that like 9-year-old, and then he sang the same gospel song for 3 hours, and then got given back? Yeah. That's me.
Yeah.
I actually think I gave my own stalker the ick.
Yeah.
Which is actually really an
But
achievement.
you've got, it's just, what a brain though, but like that is backing yourself, because he must have sang it the first time, and the guy said, shut the fuck up, and he's like, right, 3 hours.
Just
commitment.
Was it joyful? That is faith. That is proper faith.
100%. That's why we have it. Grace, what was your big wrong turn?
I got to sit up for this one.
Get ready to pray, Judi.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This was when we met, actually.
Yeah.
I was in LA, staying at Richard Curtis's house.
Oh, was you?
Yeah, my stalker as well. And basically, in the middle of the night,
I don't know who the fuck Judi Love is.
Yeah.
I'm Richard Curtis. Why would I possibly stalk somebody?
So bad to think that he got phone calls and all sorts. Oh my God. Anyway, go on.
I'd had like loads of edibles, basically. I don't really do weed anymore, but
Also,
lots
calling
of these
it
stories
doing weed is...
Huh?
You do weed?
I just did a few weeds,
Yeah.
I'd had loads of edibles, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and my left knee had like exploded. And it was really big. It looked so ugly.
It was very intensely
it was
different
like
to the other
in
leg.
Spy Kids. Isn't there a bit in Spy Kids where someone's like a thumb? Anyway, no one here from my generation, I guess. This is all your age group.
Yeah. Grace loves to remind me that we're not from the same generation. She's 7 years younger than me. Like, calm fucking down. But yeah, go on.
I think it's 8. But anyway, semantics.
She also thinks we're the same height.
Yeah, that's why I wore these.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I was really high, my knee had exploded. So I went to the urgent care doctor, and the first doctor in urgent care, which like in America you obviously pay before you even walk through the door. So I had to pay to see this urgent care doctor. And this doctor, before he said this to me, he said, "How many sexual partners have you had?" And I was like, "What, in my life?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like...
Did he think you'd shoved your knee up someone's ass? Like, what did he think had happened?
Because, actually, I said, I don't feel comfortable telling you that. I said, I'll tell you how many I've had this year, but I'm not going to tell you my whole life.
I love you. Honest to God.
So I told him how many I'd had like that summer, and and then he looked at my knee and he said, "Well, that is for sure gonorrhea of the knee." And I was like, "What the fuck? That's not a thing." And then he showed me on his computer gonorrhea, which is an STD for any of the virgins. When you've had it for a long period of time and you don't know, it spreads to your joints and it causes a form of arthritis in your joints, right?
And that's why Julie doesn't work in hospitals. This is insane. I had not got to carry on.
Yeah, I will carry on because I don't want to say the ending just yet because I want to keep the suspense. But it's upsetting me that anyone thought I had it. But anyway, whatever, we'll get there. So then I was like, okay, started to really freak out because the guy that I was seeing at the time was really into rock climbing. And I was like, oh my God, like, I'm going to give him knee gonorrhea. And then he was also a graffiti artist. Sorry. He couldn't do that now with knee gonorrhea. So then this doctor was like...
really, you've done us a service.
Yeah. Totally, I know. Yeah. That was such an ick of me. Anyway, so I went to Cedars-Sinai because the doctor was like, you need to go, it needs to be treated urgently. At Cedars-Sinai, the next doctor I saw was like, I don't think that's gonorrhea of the knee. I actually think you have gout. And I was there with Scarlett and I was like, I'm going to blow my fucking brains out because I don't know which one is worse. To be in America with gout. I don't know. So then I started to really like...
I gave myself gout in America. How? So I started a pizza competition by myself. I just, during the pandemic, everyone
the winner was whoever got gout.
Yeah, during the pandemic, everyone learned how to like speak Spanish and make sourdough, and I just wanted to complete Uber Eats. So I did. I decided to compete for which was the best pizza, so I would try them all always at the same time until I got gout.
Oh. Was it in your knee?
It was all over my joints, yeah.
Oh,
but
gosh.
yeah.
So
and that's why James's music is so sad.
I'm desperate to know what happened.
Yeah.
Right, so then I had to do a caveat. I thought I had health insurance. My mum, when I landed on this trip, was like, have you...
really been through it?
She really has. And she looks great, so it clearly hasn't affected her. She, when I landed in LA, said, how have you got travel insurance? I was like, no. She was like, just do it now. Anyway, so I had bought travel insurance. So I did a blood test, I did an MRI, and I did a X-ray on my knee. And because I was freaking out, like all of my friends in London were asleep as well, and I was like, I don't want them to wake up, and then I've got this like awful news that like I've lost my leg to gonorrhea or whatever. So anyway, I racked up a bill of $12,000 that day, but I was like, it's fine, I've got insurance. And the doctor came in and he was like, we've got all your results, we've just been looking at everything, and actually you don't have gonorrhea of the knee. And I was like, well, that is a miracle because I wouldn't have been shocked.
Was Gonorrhea anywhere?
I had gonorrhea when I was 18, I have to say, for disclosure, but I did get rid of that.
Go, you didn't have to go there. But no, say your truth, it's all good.
Anyway, so then he was like, it's not gout. And so then I sort of started freaking out. But I'd also decided that maybe if I had gout, I would like make it my entire brand. Because I was like, something kind of jokes about having gout.
Sort of, it's a cause that very few people are flying the flag of.
Yeah.
It's really just like Donald Trump and King Charles.
And King
Grace.
Charles.
Henry VIII.
And Jameela, famously.
Yeah, very, very briefly, but yeah.
Anyway, it turns out that I had torn my ACL from wearing Crocs, basically. From walking up the Hollywood Hills in Crocs.
Which is actually the punishment you deserve.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
But the sick joke of all of this, which isn't funny or there's no, I was asked to tell a story that there's no lesson from, right? The sick joke of this is that travel insurance I got out, that my mum told me to get out, in the small print, it was like, you have to have booked this before you left the UK. They shouldn't have let me do it. But anyway, so I had to pay for those medical bills. The first doctor who saw me that day got a commission on how much I ended up spending in Cedars-Sinai. He said, how many sexual partners have you had? Assessed that in the last 6 months I was a slut. So just assessed that I was a slut. Was like, I'm going to tell this bitch that she has gonorrhea of the knee. She's going to freak out and go and spend loads of money, of which I get a chunk. And this is why we need to protect the NHS, okay? That's all I have to say.
Amen. Oh my God! I had no idea it was £12,000.
Yeah, it was
Thank
fucked.
you for not asking me
And
for the money.
Emma and Richard paid the bills to the house. They were like, you need to pay this. I was like, I'm paying it in installments. It was a very stressful time.
Oh my God. And you was not a slut, you just had good pussy. What the fuck?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Give it up for Grace's pussy. Thank you all for your wonderful stories. It's time to take it to the audience now. Don't worry. I asked you beforehand, send in some of your stories. So we're going to start with Bonnie. Bonnie, are you here? Hi, Bonnie.
Is your surname Blue?
That would be a crossover of the generation.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
If she
collab.
was, her legs would have been waving, not her hand.
So, Bonnie says, I was going to this fancy party and had my outfit all planned. A sleek, black, strapless satin pencil dress. She's a wordsmith. The week before, I thought, let's add a corset for extra fancy. Big mistake. The day of, I'd done a brutal leg day at the gym. No need to brag. I'd done a brutal leg day at the gym, so my ass was basically inflated. My friend had to stuff me into the dress like leftover turkey, and I had to shimmy into the taxi like a stranded seal. Still, who cares? I looked hot. That's fucking right, Bonnie.
Yeah.
But dread hit. I was in a corset and a thong. If this dress failed, I'd be giving half of London a one-woman burlesque show. My friend promised I'd be fine. Cut to the bathroom hours later. I pull the dress up to pee and it won't go back down. My friend has to undress me completely so I can step into it again. We make a pact. Every bathroom break is a two-woman military operation. God, I love women.
Same.
At 3 a.m., I need to pee again, but instead of finding my friend, some random woman offers to help. Wrong turn number 1. We cram into a cubicle, and she yanks the zip so hard it rips straight past the seam. Suddenly, my boobs and my ass are both auditioning for freedom. Wrong turn number 2. Now there are 4 women in one tiny cubicle trying to rescue me. The poor woman who broke my dress is nearly crying, and I'm standing there, half naked, trying to laugh. She offers me her cream satin work skirt, which I wear as a dress. Picture my boobs swinging like windshield wipers over what looks like a silky sack of potatoes. Someone finally MacGyvers the shredded black dress with the hook at the top, but by the time I get home, it was fully spatchcocked.
Oh, man.
And I'm back in the hedge.
Yeah.
Back in the hedge. That is...
Just Russell, just...
Saying, who's your daddy?
It's such a window into how kind women are to each other, isn't
Oh,
it? Like
totally.
so there's 3 separate
that.
ladies that help in that situation. 100%. But broadly speaking, if that's one man, it's like, you know, Dave's dick's out, don't you?
Yeah.
You're fucked, Dave. That's the end of the story.
Yeah, 100%.
And yet, you help. She's in peril. It's phenomenal.
I've had a similar thing happen to me at a very high-profile birthday party.
It was a big party.
It was a massive, massive party.
It was Richard Curtis's birthday party.
Do you know shall I tell you whose party it was?
Please.
It was Stormzy's party.
Wow.
Oh.
And he doesn't know this, Frank Hill.
He doesn't know that you
He
were
doesn't
there.
know the party. It's like, Judi Love's in my house. Shut up, Stormzy.
But I got really confident and I was dipping down low. You know the music, so dipping down low, and the dress was like fitted perfectly to my body, but it wasn't a stretch material. I wasn't paying mind to that, so I was dipping down low. The knees were feeling good, the juice was running, the tequila was nice, the finger was up. I was like, I'm that bitch, right? I dipped down 2 times and I heard Jesus say to me, slow down. But I said, Jesus, you got this, yeah? Right? I dipped down low for the 3rd time. I heard... I was like, I don't know if that's thunderstorm and lightning, Jesus, but I can feel breeze in my back, right? And I backed up and everybody was there, Vogue was there. I backed up like this, like I was Spider-Woman, okay? And I shimmied against the wall and everyone was like, come and take pictures. I was like, no, I'm just good, I'm good. Like I was posing, like I'm good. And you know who came and saved me? It was Brenda Edwards.
Love.
She turned up. I texted her and said, babes, my back and back is out the door, quick. She was like, what's his name? I said, it's not that time, babes. She came and she had a blanket, like a little blanket, and it was literally like the end of the party, and they wrapped me in this blanket, and plus being a plus size, you didn't want people to be like, oh my God, you know, she burst out of her dress. But it was just the way I dipped down low and I had the blanket, and I walked out and I just played really diva moment. Like, it's just so cold. Like, I just need everyone to just cover me.
Fucking double down.
Babes, I doubled down.
Yeah.
Like, I doubled down so much, the dress burst, okay?
You know
I love
what?
that.
This
But
is also...
again, what man brings a blanket to a party just in case another man's in peril? You are better than us.
She had it in the car, but it's the fact that she...
Yeah, but no man's got... If a bloke's got a blanket in his car, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Very few men have a blanket for their bed.
Exactly. And it's next to some lime.
Yeah.
You've triggered a terrible memory for me. When I was 25 or 26, I was interviewing Daniel Craig for Bond, and he was there with 2 of the most beautiful Bond girls ever. And I walk into the room, and I've overconfidently all the dresses are fucking sample size. They're tiny. They're for Baby Gap. And I was like, I can get it on. And it fit while I was standing if I didn't breathe. And I was like, fuck it. And I never try it sitting down. So I waddle into the room and I bend over to, shake Daniel Craig's hand and both the Bond girls. And then as I sit down, you just hear... It explodes open only at my arse, and I hadn't worn underwear that day, all right? It was a laundry day. So I know that the cameraman who's right behind me to get the Daniel shot has seen my arsehole, because I hear him just go, whoop.
He got the Daniel shot all right.
Yeah. You were shaken and stirred.
And then I felt my cold flaps. Well, my normal temperature flaps reach the cold leather of the chair as I sat down. And it sort of just audibly goes like squelch. And everyone knows what's happened. It's a tiny room. And the Bond girls are looking at me so sympathetically. Daniel doesn't give a fuck. And I just have to sit there interviewing them.
You carried on with the interview?
Of course I did. What was I going to do?
You're a boss.
You are professional.
I
Did you
it.
try and cover the noise up when you got out of the chair? Because that would have been just to cut the...
There was nothing. I actually got up like this. I got up, I shimmied up like this so that if I'd left any kind of a trail, I was like, all right, we're all human here, all right? You think you're better than me?
Yeah. The little gym sweat line. Yeah, I know
exactly. It's like a perfect imprint of everything I've got.
Did you wipe it off?
I smeared like that. I got out the chair like that, and then I just sort of, in a very sort of traditional Japanese way, which is like, thank you so much.
That's the one.
I just, moonwalked out of the interview. Pretty cool. So, Bonnie, Thank you so much for setting off absolute chaos. Huge round of applause for Bonnie. You three have been an absolute dream. Can you tell everyone where they can find you and what you want them to go and see and watch and buy tickets for before you go, Russell?
Any kind of hedge, really, on mostly A roads. I do mostly A roads these days. Yeah, I'm just doing gigs and that. I think I'm going to do a tour next year in the UK, so that'd be fun. But mostly, I'm at the minute I'm a dad, so that's mostly what I'm doing. So you won't find me in many places at the moment.
That's lovely.
Yeah, so mostly that's what I'm up to.
Oh, so sweet.
And jacking off in hedges.
Yeah.
That's
a double life.
double life.
Yeah.
Daddy's off.
And Judi?
Good luck,
Sit
father.
down and turn around.
Yeah.
I'm Judi Love. You can find me on Instagram or wherever else. And I'm also starting a tour. I'm doing warm-up gigs, but my tour starts in January, all about the love. Thank you very much to one person that screamed. I appreciate you. There weren't no fucking love then, was it?
Richard?
I'd love...
Oh.
Love you to come and see that at Hammersmith Apollo in June, but yeah, start January down the UK. So thank you. I'd love that, yeah.
And Grace?
You can find me in North London mainly. Sort of around Finsbury Park, Stroud Green. It's my new local haunt.
You can spot her because she's got one really massive knee.
Yeah, and a little limp. I'm just limping along. I'm actually doing some shows in a few weeks. We've just added an extra one, so there are a few tickets left at the Soho Theatre in Walthamstow, which is long when I say Walthamstow, but it's gorgeous and it's on the Victoria line, and I'm really excited for that. The lineup is amazing. So come and see me there, and then or don't. Whatever.
But it's the best way to be. Like, none of us in any way have sold what we're doing.
I think that's our Britishness, isn't it?
It's the British. I was thinking this. I think we're at our most British when we're in the cinema and we've seen a big trailer for a film, and it's always that kind of, in a world there was only one man, and it's, and you always hear a voice after that going, "Oh, it's fucking shit."
Yeah.
And that's how we sell ourselves. Yeah. Like all of us, we're doing quite nice
it's
stuff.
A palate cleanser.
I'm doing a gig, and you don't, fucking. But, yeah.
And that's why I love
How about
us.
you? What are you up to?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. No one ever asked me that. I'm doing this podcast and I'm writing on Substack, and I've got a movie coming out with Alicia Silverstone and Melissa Joan Hart.
Wow.
For anyone else
Well,
who's
there you
80.
go.
Shit. Why did you ask?
It's a proper Christmassy movie. And I'm just playing a massive
what's she
cunt,
like?
as always. Oh, they're all lovely. I lied and told them I could ski.
Babe, sometimes you got to do that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Did they make you ski?
No, they had to change the entire script. They found out when I got there, but you know what? I got in the room, so...
Babe, some people say they can ski, and some people say they're on birth control. It's
You say potato.
yeah.
100%. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
You're all three of my favourite.
Wrong Turns was created and produced by me, Jameela Jamil, and Stewart Bailey, and thank you to consulting producer Colin Anderson. You can email us a voice memo of your own wrong turns. All you have to do is email personaldisasterstories@gmail.com. That's enough of me. I'm going to fuck off now. Bye.